The awkward turtle.
Growing up in two different countries who had the exact opposite customs was a very confusing childhood. I find myself acting differently depending what I was or who I was with. And so, for example, I use chopsticks when I'm eating crisps at home, so my hands don't get oily. But when I'm in England, I use a fork and a spoon to eat rice. I also drink water at different water temperatures depending on which country I was in. So when I'm in England, my body is basically 70% of water and tea. And whereas when I'm at home, my body is probably around about 72% of boiling hot water. Now, growing up, whenever I didn't agree with my parents when I was at home, they would say things like, "I'm so disappointed in you. You don't understand Chinese values." Which makes me extremely confused because I'm like, "Dad, you sent me there when I was 9. So I'm not really sure what you were expecting here, to be honest." But he's not all wrong. I have noticed more whiteness in me. I do like to be drunk all the time. I enjoy a good Hawaiian shirt on holiday. And I find lots of things so exotic across Asia. And I think it may be because I went to school in Cornwall. It was round about 96% of white people, 2% of kebab shops, and 2% of Chinese takeaways. I didn't really have Asians around me to relate to, and I just wanted to blend in so badly. So I learned to apologize a lot. I apologize for asking for the bill at the restaurants. I even apologize after sex. Ooh, how English of me. And I guess being a bit more racially aware from a young age really opened up my eyes on how ignorant some people can be. Now, generally speaking, I do think most people are low-key racist to some degree. I think it is in our human nature to be able to spot differences, and we like to define things, right? But there's always someone who argues for the other side to the absolute extreme. The ones that says, "Yeah, like for me, I just don't see color nor race because I think we are all the same, and we are all like children of the earth, so we just all the same people. We are all humans after all." Well, it must be because you're Chinese and you can't see very well. It's not racist to notice race. In fact, it's probably more racist not to notice race and assume everyone has the same heritage as you do. In school, my friends would always highlight the fact that I'm Chinese, joking about my Asian features. And I do have classic Chinese features, alright? Short, small eyes, the whole shebang. I am now 26, but I do still look about 12. But what they don't know is that I am also considered to be short over here, even in Chinese standards. You know your eyes are pretty small when your Chinese friends, brackets, just friends in my case, asks if I can see as much as they did. People love to run this test on me. So I'm going to put one hand here and one hand here, and I'm going to make them wider apart slowly, okay? So just tell me when you stop seeing my hand. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh wow, we can still see my hand from there. How exciting for you with small eyes. And I used to get really upset when this happens and argue that I see the exact same range as everyone. Can everyone just stop being so fucking racist to me all the time? But now I kind of realize that maybe they could be right. Like, how am I supposed to know if I'm seeing less than everyone else? Do you know what? I really should start going up to people with bigger eyes just to test the theory out. And by now, I'm probably used to people making the odd race comments. Some people really don't mean it at all, and they probably just need to be a bit more exposed to the world. And some people are just pure bags of dicks. And those bags of dicks are usually the ones that goes, "No offense, why don't you just sort the bill out for us? Like, you are Chinese. You can probably do the maths quicker than any of us." "Yeah, I'm just joking. Yeah, haha, JK. Those bags of dicks knows exactly what they're doing, and they're trying to pass it off as a friendly banter. To me, the common racist, are just the everyday assholes. It's like kind of like a 2-in-1 shampoo situation. You don't really meet someone who's a dickhead, but so respectful to race. And it works exactly the same other way around. If you're racist, 9 times out of 10, you are also an asshole. But there are times that some people, in some weird, twisted way, they do mean well, but they are just being racist, unintentionally. So when I first went to school in England, I was told I had to choose an English name. I was actually told that I needed a different name to live in England because they will find it hard to pronounce my name. And that I will actually be able to make friends easier if I had an English name. So you're telling me that my Chinese name, which already has an English spelling, it is literally just a 3-syllable, but I need another name still? And I have to learn how to pronounce Guinevere? And that I should know all the different types of Seans and Sarahs? It just makes no sense. And sidebar, I hate to break this news to you, but just in case you didn't know this, Jackie Chan's real name isn't actually Jackie Chan. Mind-blowing stuff. Now, Cornwall was the place where I spent the longest time living in, so naturally, it always felt a bit more like home for me. It's not like the rest of England, where people from Cornwall has a very strong sense of being Cornish. And to be honest, nothing ever too exciting happens down there. It is a fairly closed-off bit of the world. Sometimes it was hard living there because there are only just white people there. And this is one of the best examples I can share. You know, on how some people are just trying to be nice, but it can come across a bit off. One of my best friend's mum would always make sure her house was stocked whenever I stayed over. And the one thing she would always buy was soy sauce. And I mean, how do you get offended by that? The woman just want to make sure I'm nicely fed. She just wants to make sure I have all the options I want to have for my pie. But of course, there are some times where people will overstep that mark and they're actually being racist. And I kind of learned just over the years that you just have to give them a really unexpected reaction to throw them off. I've had kids jangling change in their pockets, so they make that chink noise. At first, I honestly thought it was the most creative thing ever. I've never heard of this joke, and I was so impressed. I actually asked them how they came up with this joke. And then the kids apologized and ran away.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I almost had a knife pulled on me once. It was like after a Friday night out in the town. I was about 16, 17 at the time. And I was told to go back to where I came from by this homeless guy. I know, isn't it ironic? I could have just asked him to do the same thing. And that was the first time ever an absolute stranger walked up to me and just started being racist. And I thought to myself, this is exactly the time to play my cards right. And what I did was that I told the homeless man that I was born in the local hospital. And I think the fact that I could name the local hospital by name threw him off massively. And you can just see his head's going, a Chinese person who isn't born in China? What is this? After a few minutes, he eventually stopped bothering us. Well, this time, after we ran away. Oh, don't feel sorry for me. The Chinese people can be very racist too. You just don't understand it because we speak a different language other than English. You know, we don't get as much as backlash because we are racist in our own language. English people can only speak one language most of the time. We get to talk about you to your face in public. Like I said, everyone is a bit racist. So sometimes it might sound ching chong chan chan to you, but it actually means
fuck, shit, cunt, damn.
So who's the winner here? And in Hong Kong, we call expats guai. You guys don't even get assigned a nationality. Everyone who's foreign is just called guai. A direct translation would mean ghost man. Most Westerners, they are so white and pale, the Chinese refers them as ghosts. The word is so commonly used, we are so racist to their faces. There's a beer brand in Hong Kong called Guilo. But this could only work here. Could you imagine the shit it will go down if there was a jerk chicken shop in Texas using the N-word? It is so good that we're starting to recognize different race, profiles, backgrounds, upbringing. It is almost ridiculous to say this, but it is time to really celebrate and learn about a different cultures. Stop pretending that we should all fit into this one thing and that we are all exactly the same. We have to realize that there will be different perspectives, different opinions, and definitely we need more different voices. If you love that, please do not subscribe, follow, download, thumbs up me of any of the sort, because that will mean you're super duper weird, man. If you didn't like that, then fair play. You clearly have a way more exciting life than I do, so fuck off and go play with your really cool friends. And finally, if you have the same weird thoughts as I do, go to my Instagram page at Awkward Turtle for some extra bits. The Awkward Turtle, over and out.